ask also that what is gravity, what is electromagnetism, what is an atom. See, these things are physical manifestations. It's a very small, insignificant portion what man has discovered. The quantum physics or what the nuclear physics or all those things. These are all natural forces, right? Gravity and things like that. Light, the length, everything that we discover, gravity, electromagnetism, thermodynamics, all these are natural laws where? On Earth. The same laws may be different in an astral universe. The same laws may be different in a different galaxy. So we can't take it for granted that these laws are very common across all realms. Yeah, across all dimensions. So Lord doesn't speak about this. It's not that Lord Krishna did not know science. Many people will think like that. What is this? Lord Krishna doesn't talk about all these new scientific great discoveries. Because in the dictionary of the Lord, these are very insignificant aspects. The astral universe is much, much larger than the physical, and the causal is immense. And beyond that lies Prakriti and Purusha. So Lord makes it very simple for Arjuna. So on the 14th, he talks about the fundamental creation of Prakriti, the three gunas, and how it manifests microcosmically inside each human being, which we can extrapolate and identify with in the atmosphere, in the environment. The 15th chapter, Bhagwan describes himself, Akshara Brahma Yoga. Sorry, with Purushottama Yoga, similar to Akshara Brahma Yoga only. In Purushottama Yoga, it describes Sat Parabrahma, Tat Parabrahma, and Om Parabrahma. So all the three beings, all the three creations, creative beings, he describes. Three parts of himself, which causes all creation. And he says that you and I have come from there, and we have to go back. Until we go back, there is no chain, there's no peace. Anxiety and frustration become very common on human earth or in any world, because until we are connected to the source. There are two ways of connecting. When we are alive, he stresses that you have to cleanse yourself. He says if you are an Akrita Atma, then you can't see this. And if you unite yourself and see all this happening within yourself, you can realize it, then you can actually attain that state, living here, this earth. So that is the clear message throughout. And moksha does not hinge on death. It hinges on cleansing oneself, cleansing the chitta when we are alive. Moksha doesn't come at death. It may come at death, but it is a wrong notion initially. In older times, people used to think, oh, moksha mil gaya, matlab it happens only at death. No, moksha happens while we are alive. While we are alive. We get into the Jivan Mukta state. Okay, so that is a theme of the Gita. So now the Gita naturally progresses into one question: what is evil? We see evil a lot. Lord talks about goodness everywhere. Sattva, sattva, sattva. So then, uniting with Brahma. Then how is evil possible? What is evil? So here Lord makes it clear what is evil in this chapter. What is evil? What is good? And he says both are two sides of the coin, and I have created it. But and it is our choice what we have to pick when we come here, whether we pick evil or whether good. And once we pick it, it becomes very ingrained, becomes a sanskara, and we tend to pick it more often. And over a period of time, what happens? Let us look at Deva, Asura, Sampad, Vipaka Yoga. So by understanding this Daiva and Asura Sampad, what happens? Sampad means traits. What is the use? What is the result? Lord here says, once you understand this, you know what to choose. What is your goodness? When you choose that, and you know by choosing what, you can come very fast to me and get free. So you can unite in that manner. So every chapter that way is how to unite. By understanding this, how to unite. That is why it's called Daiva, Asura, Sampad, Vibhaga, Yoga. Yoga means union, right? So let's start. So, Daiva, Asura, Sampad, Vibhaga, Yoga. 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 So, Daiva, Asura, Sampad, Vibha Bhagawanuvacha abhayam sattva samshuddhi jnana-yoga vyavasthiti danam damascha yajnascha swadhyayastapa arjavam ahimsa satyam-akrodha tyaga shantirapeshunam daya bhuteshvalo luptvam mardavam hrirachapalam Shatasya Bharata. The Lord said, these are the Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. Third shloka, last line, is the summary. So Bhavanti, to become Sampadam, those traits, these ensure divine traits, Daivim, divine, Abhijatasya, to be born, Bharata. Those who are born with divine traits, having divine traits, divine qualities, are or of divine saintly nature, they are having these qualities. What other qualities? There are 26 qualities. Lord Krishna mentioned. This is Abhayam, fearlessness. Sattva Samshuddhi, meaning there is a purity of the nature. Sattva here, we understood Sattva also means nature. So our nature is pure. Sattva Samshuddhi. Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. Always situating the mind in Jnana and Yoga, higher wisdom and union. Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. Danam, giving, nature of giving. Damascha. Danam, damascha, yajnascha. So giving is, dana is charity. Dama is control of the senses, sense control. Damascha, yajna. Yajna is to be able to practice something in order to attain this jnana, in order to attain this higher wisdom. So it's a sacrifice, yajna. So anything is called yajna. Any tapas you do, any puja you do, any study you do, like this is jnana yajna, what we're doing. This becomes part of your what? This becomes part of your jnana yoga vyavasthiti, being situated in jnana and yoga. Dhanam, damascha, yajnascha, swadhyaya, adhyaya. Adhyaya is to study. Swadhyaya means study, self-study. Self-study can be translated into external self-study. Nobody has to tell you, but still you're interested in studying, learning, scriptural study, or you study yourself. Introspection. Us studying ourselves, dissecting ourselves is very detachedly, not very crudely criticizing. That is a very negative tendency which will manifest more negativity in pain and disease. But Swadhyaya, self-study in a very uncritical manner. Who am I? What am I doing here? Where have I come from? Am I really male, female? Why do I feel hungry? Why do I have to do these things? Seekers. New generation is so much like that. They're seeking, they're questioning why war? Why isn't everyone happy? Why? So this is self-study. This also teaches us so much. This is also Swadhyaya. Tapa. Tapa is to be able to, exert, do Purushartha, do hard work, whether it is physically or mentally. So even meditation is a hard work. Study is a hard work. Everything is done hard work, right? You need willpower to do that. So that capability, without complaining, tapa, arjavam, straightforward. Whatever is in the mind has to come out, but not harsh words. Mind has to be pure. So that is arjavam. They say truth. What is truth? The definition, one of the scriptural definitions of truth is when the tongue and the mind say the same thing. That is truth. That is a very interesting definition of truth. Think about it. So that is arjavam. Ahimsa, not hurting anybody in three ways: physically, mentally, and in voice or in speech. Hmm? Ahimsa, satya, truthfulness. Again, the same example, truthfulness. The mind and the voice should convey the same thing, and including the actions. So that's truthfulness, according to nature. So the mind, I may say something which is truth, but the mind may not have the same feelings. Like some people can go and praise the other person without actually feeling the same feelings, mentally thinking something else. So that is felt because man is an electromagnetic being. We react to vibrations of each other, right? So when we react to vibrations, we are aware of the thoughts of the other person. So it's not like, okay, that person is not around. Let me talk about that person now. It you may feel that you are talking about that person and it is so truthful what I'm saying. But remember, it is your thought process about that person. That person might have a husband, wife, or child who thinks totally different about that person. So maybe what you're saying is untruth, causing an imbalance in your health, causing an imbalance in your personality. So that is why in Jainism, they say one of the most important ahimsa is not doing ninda. Paraninda is very, very dangerous. Even if you say it without any hard feelings and you feel it is being dissected in the right manner, you are dissecting that person. That person fought with me. I have every right to talk bad about her or him. You don't. Why? Because at the conscious level, it's going to affect you. It's going to affect you. Because consciousness is a massive fabric on which we are all the booties on the big sari, right? So you move the sari from one side, everything moves. So you may say do paraninda, paradhushanam, but it is going to affect you only in karma, in wealth, in success, in prosperity. So that is very important, straightforwardness and truthfulness. Then Lord says, the ahimsa, satyam, akrodha, not having krodha, not angry, krodha, tyaga, the capability to give up or sacrifice something. So, ek time ka khana chhod dena. It's very difficult, but then we can, give up something that we really feel is very nice. You have a dress, you have something you love it so much, but giving that up is tyaga. Tyaga is not giving away things that you don't need. Oh, I don't need this anymore. That is not tyaga. Tyaga is giving away things that we need the most or which you have considered as high value. That is removing junk from the house. That is not considered as charity also. Okay. So that is tyaga. Shanti, peacefulness. Tyaga, shanti. Again, this is not doing paradushanam. Have certain practice a certain amount of mantras, and when your wisdom increases, Bhagavan Krishna gives all fruits very fast, very fast. So you get the fruits of ISKCON Mahamantra very fast. Wisdom starts developing. People do have lectures like this. So it's on YouTube. You can see it. She says about fault finding. She says there's a theory which she read, which is kind of research. It seems what happens is when you do paradushanam, when you talk bad about the others, that their bad karma gets transferred to you. So suppose you are carrying some bad karma already yours and you talked something about X, then that X's bad karma gets transferred to us as much as I badmouth that person. So that much more mental disease, that much more physical disease, that much more restlessness. So we don't want this. We want to expend our karma, right? So we stop talking anything or anything about another person. Okay, so then restraint from this. So that is Shanti Apeshunam. Then Teja, Kshama, Daya, Ahimsa, Satyam, Akrodha, Tyaga, Shanti, Apeshunam. Daya Bhuteshu. Having daya, compassion for every being. Bhuteshu, he says, not Manusheshu, not for humans. So Lord is saying, Every being. That's why you always see the iconography of Krishna always holding, an animal. You'll see every rishi, every muni like Buddha, Mahavira, along with animals, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all along with animals. It does not convey that, they loved animals, the other saints. No, it's natural for all beings to get attracted to Brahma. So when we have compassion, compassion is a very high quality. Ahimsa comes before even Satya. That's what all the Jain philosophy, Buddhist philosophy, even the Hindu philosophy talks about the same. Recently, I came across some very interesting information which says that even the Vedas do not talk about Prani Bali. Even the Vedas do not talk about Prani Bali. So the killing was never there in Sanatana. It was never an okay. I don't know how it entered, but there was a shloka being quoted. I can't remember that, but it is very fascinating. Even the Manusmriti has not mentioned it. There are many versions of the Manusmriti, I believe. The versions which are tampered with are quite cruel, but the original Manusmriti is from where Swami Yukteswarji has also given the definition of yugas, are very pure, very pure. And they don't have prani bali. So compassion towards all beings. We can't even harm an insect. How can you harm a chicken or a goat or a cow or a pig? These are very large, very conscious, very intelligent animals who are going to become humans in the next life. And you're going to cut their evolution right there. If we give them a chance to live for 10 years, 15 years, and then they learn everything, they're going to definitely become a human and evolve faster. Again, a Brahma. So Daya, very important. Compassion. So that is why that saying in Mahabharata, Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. Ahimsa Satyam Akrodha. We did this, right? Okay. Tyaga Shantirapeshnam Daya Bhuteshu Aloluptvam. So ahimsa comes twice literally, daya in a form of daya bhuteshu as well as not harming ahimsa. So you see how important it is. Aloluptvam. So every time next time you pick up your jhadu to kill the cockroach, or you see a rat, you think, oh, it's harmless, I just want to kill it. That's wrong. Remember, that's wrong. You can't kill a rat. You pick him up, put him out, and you see a snake, you want to kill it. Oh, it's poisonous, I want to kill it. No, don't. Let it move. It is living. You have occupied its place. Let it live. This we should live. And not only that, you should also stop it when you see somebody is doing it. Have the courage. That is sattva. That is sattva. The other one is I do it myself. The second level of sattva is when you can stop it. Daya bhutesha aloluptvam. Aloluptvam is not wanting more and more things. Something like aparigraha, not being attached to things, something like this. Alolupta Mardhavam. Mardhavam is very gentle and soft. Hri is modest, modest in everything, not ostentatious, showy. God doesn't like that, I believe, because he himself is very filled with modesty. Hri. Achapalam, lack of restlessness, not chapala, constantly talking, constantly doing this or that, constantly talking. You might have seen some people so restless. The vega is so much. They have to constantly talk either on the phone or on the apps, or there is no silence. It's a very sad state. Chapalam. Tejaha, the radiance. Kshama, forgiveness. Kshama, dhriti. Teja, kshama, dhriti. Dhriti is that power within, that can work very hard. You call it fortitude or willpower, intense energy inside, the energy to continue to keep on keeping on. It's a very important quality for meditation. Keep on keeping on, no? Dhriti. Shaucham, purity of mind and body. Adroho, not vengeful. Droha is vengefulness. That person spoke bad about me. I can't ever forgive that person. That person fought, when you feel that, you should be able to overcome it and suppress it, because that thought comes from ego mind. The soul is not affected, right? So that is very important. Adroho. Na atimanita. Na atimanita is not thinking I am great. I'm so smart, I'm so beautiful, I'm so intelligent. That is atimanita. अपने आप को अति मानना. Na atiman. So these are the qualities who are born with purity, have these qualities. Then there's a very fascinating incident here. Then Lord wants to cover this chapter in like 2 slokas, but Arjuna gets worried. So see how much Lord Krishna loves Arjuna, that he comforts Arjuna. Okay, now you see. Lord explains, Dambho darpo abhimanascha krodha parushyameva cha ajnanam cha bhijatasya partha sampadamasurim. So quickly he says in one sentence, look, this is good, these 26 qualities. And what are the evil qualities? Dambha. Dambha is a vain glorious pride, something like um, one is not attained that specific. Suppose a cricket player who says that he's gone to World Cup. You go to villages and all, you'll face such people who'll keep on, blowing their own bugles, donkey praising its own tail, like that. Damba, excessive, speech about oneself. Darpaha, darpaha is you have attained it and you are quite glorifying your own activities. So darpa, that is. Abhimana is again a kind of a feeling that I have. Abhimana, my mana, more mana on yourself, on your ego, your state. You're very pretty, you're intelligent. I am this, I am that. So Krodha is something to be controlled. That is the first lakshana of a muni, because Krodha stems from unfulfilled desires, which is an uncontrollable desire in the Swadhisthana chakra. It's a sexual desire. That is where it stems from, Mooladhara and Swadhisthana. So there, if there are unfulfilled desires, it manifests as Krodha, anger, frustration. So Krodha, Parushya. So one has to open those, balance those chakras through yoga, sadhana, pranayama. Krodha will go naturally. Also, it goes as the grace. When Brahma's grace comes, it goes. Krodha. Parushyam is being very caustic in speech. Parushyam. Evacha Ajnanam cha abhijatasi. These are all caused along with tamasic thoughts. Ajnanam, ignorant, or heavy rajasic. Ajnanam cha abhijatas, it's born with that. Partha Sampadam Asuri. Oh Partha, these are Asuric Sampatis. So now look at what happens to Partha. See, one has to understand that Kshatriya is expected to show a lot of valor. And with valor and that excessive rajas, you do get that, feeling of, very full of strong strength. You've seen these gym goers, people who go to gym and make big muscles, they consume a lot of protein and build your muscles. So they become like this. They become very conscious, and they have these qualities. Kshatriyas are something like that. May not be so base like a gym person who's very concerned about his body. So wherever they go, they will show their body. They'll move in a very funny manner. It's a bit funny, but Lord is saying like that, these Kshatriyas also used to have a lot of valor and Paurusham. They would obviously have even very strong speech, and it borders on something like Darpa, Damba, and everything, right? Abhimana and all that. So here, look what happens. Arjuna's face perhaps falls. So Lord says, Daivi sampad vimokshaya nibandhyaya surimata mashucha sampadam daivim abhijatosi pandava. So Lord Krishna catches that and he says, look, Arjuna, Daivi Sampat Vimokshaya. If you practice these Daivi Sampats, you're going to get moksha. Nibandhaya, it will bind you what? Asuri Mataha. These Asuri kind of qualities, if you propel them, it is going to bind you further to lower worlds. Then he says, very interestingly, Ma Shucha, don't cry. Don't feel sad. that Sampadam Daivim Abhijato Asi Pandava. You are born with all the Daivic qualities. Don't feel, don't fret, don't grieve. Interesting, isn't it? So Arjuna might have felt, do I have Damba, Dharpa, Abhimana? Do I have all this? So he might have mentally thought, and Lord is responding to him right then. Then, because to calm Arjuna, he goes on to explain that Asuri is not just Damba, Darpa, and Abhimana, but it goes very deep, Arjuna. Look, I will tell you. So he goes on to explain the further. Otherwise, this chapter would have ended right there. The Gita would have ended actually in the first chapter only, after Sankhya Yoga, if Arjuna had not asked the question in the beginning of the third chapter. So because he questioned, then Lord explained Karma Yoga. So like that. Otherwise, the second chapter is explained everything, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, everything in two shlokas. And then he talks about Dehi Sthiti, Sthita Prajna, everything. It's complete second chapter. That's it. It's called Sankhya Yoga, Samakyati. Complete knowledge is there in the second chapter. So here also he explains further because of Arjuna's confusion. And we should thank Arjuna because we got so much knowledge. So Lord says, द्वौ भूतः सर्गो लोकेऽस्मिन् दैव आसुर एव च दैवो विस्तरशः प्रोक्त आसुरं पार्थ मे शृणु. Okay, let me explain, Arjuna. Asuri is not just Damba Dharpa Abhimana. A little bit of Damba Dharpa Abhimana will be there even in Devas. Like you hear about stories of Indra fighting with Surya constantly. Why? Because he's jealous or some reason. Now maybe they've stopped fighting. You know, there are other stories in the Puranas where somebody's phone is, I think Raghavendra sir, your phone is, your mobile is, let me mute. Okay, maybe he didn't know that. Okay. So, maybe we were in the both a circle. So Lord is explaining more so that we understand exactly what is Asuri. It is a very, when you get the word Asura, it is a very heavy tendency of Asuric qualities. It is not a normal, simple tendency. Man has both. Yes, sir. You want to say something? You're not audible, sir. You're not audible. Yeah, there's only a lot of static. Okay, so he's left. Okay, this latest. I think it was a mistake. Okay, now Lord is saying, let us look at what is real Asuri qualities. Huh? Like if you want to be branded as a Ravana, if you want to be branded in the scriptures as a Kamsa, or if you really want to be branded as even Duryodhana, to that extent is not called Asura. He's called a Manava only. So that means Ravana, yeah, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, and all those Asuras, they were totally different. They were, huge levels above a normal human. Okay, so that is why Lord explains this in detail to tell us that look, don't get worried so much. Little bit of evil, little bit of not evil, maybe a little bit of these Darpa, Abhimana is there in all beings. A little bit of restlessness, a little bit of anxiety, stress. Just because we started learning the Gita, it won't go away, right? We are humans, right? Half of that and half of this will be there. Okay, so we are not asuric. So please don't judge yourself harshly. This is the prime reason he says Mashucha Sampadim Daivim Abhijadosi Pandava. It tells Arjuna and he explains in detail so Arjuna understands what is real asura. So let us understand now what was this Ravana, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. They literally, one of the very important asuric tendency is they literally hate God. Literally hate God. And when some God takes a form, divine form, and appear before them, they tend to hate that person. And this happens not because they are purposely putting on that show or that there is some, vengeful mentality towards somebody. This happens because of a natural clash between goodness and evil. Goodness and evil. So Guruji explains this very interestingly. He says in one of the talks that everyone in this world is crazy to a certain extent, some kind of madness. Oh, I like, sweets. That's some madness. I love to smoke. That is my idiosyncrasy. I love to eat meat. I love to have alcohol. I do drugs once in a while. Yeah, people do this. Okay. Now, that is that person's avidya. He believes it's nice and right. Hmm? Perhaps a person believes that, apples are really wrong. Whenever I have apples, I get loose motion, my stomach gets upset. That fastidiousness goes to such an extent, it actually manifests. Guruji says, don't be fastidious. So fastidious in everything. Don't have to pick a fight and get worried. So he says, if that way everyone has some idiosyncrasy, that's that problem of that person, that's a craziness. I love Hindi movies. I love Shah Rukh Khan. Some people can gush about somebody like this for a long time. So anyway, so we should not judge. That's that personality. Now, what Guruji says is very simple. He says that each one has a certain set of craziness, and if you mix with the same set of craziness, then you feel that person is very great. Oh, you love Hindi movies? I too love Hindi movies. And then you can talk for hours and your friends. It's a very short-lived, shallow friendship. This is not a deep spiritual connection. Okay, that any some other flaw is seen, then that relationship will break. It can happen even in boyfriend, girlfriend, aajkal ke kids and things like that. No, but if you mix with the other type of craziness, naturally you will repel each other. Like somebody says, okay, I love doing these works, and somebody says, no, I love meditation. I love to be with God. I want to talk only about God. So then they can't mix with each other. So what happens? So there's different types of problems, crazinesses. So that's in the same manner, Asura and Daivis are born enemies. They naturally tend to repel each other because of their magnetic power is so different. It's not a craziness, it's absolute difference in personalities, absolute difference in the way of their making itself. And how has it come about? By long practice of being in that specific nature. This is what the scriptures say. So the Deva becomes a Deva in the astral world, not because he was a special creation, because you as a human practiced Devi qualities life after life, life after life, life after life, and you died, you went there, you didn't have karma left back, you became the Deva. Same thing in the Asuri world. So they went to those lokas because they practiced in earth kinds of atmosphere, in these fields, to be an Asura, life after life. The sanskara caused it. It's a sanskara. That's what Bhagavan Krishna is going to explain now. So he says, thou, did we chant this? I think I did. Dvau bhuta sargo lokesmin daiva asura eva cha daivo vistarasha prokta asuram partha me shrunu. So there are dvau, two. Bhuta sarga. Sarga is creation, bhuta are beings. Dvau bhuta sargo. Loke asmin, in this world. In this creation, you can say. In this world, you can say. Daiva asuram evacha. Devas and asura, the two types of creations are there. Beings are there. They have become like that. Bhuta. Cha. Daiva vistarasha prokta. I've told you quite in detail what is a Daivi. In fact, not only these 26, all those Sthita Prajna, Gunatita, Jitendriya, Naishkarmya state, Yoga Ruda state, all those states are Daivi only. So, Vistarasha Prokta. I've told you everything in all the other chapters. Asuram Partha Meshrunu. Listen to, hear this now. He says, what is an Asuric kind of a tendency and stay away from it. Then Lord says, प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च जनाना विदुरासुरा न शौचं नापि चाचारो न सत्यं तेषु विद्यते. Very neatly explains. What? Pravrittim, what is the right action? Cha nivrittim, what is the wrong action? What I should refrain from doing. Jana na vidu. Those people, those janas don't know. Na vidu. Asuraha. So Asuri kind of people made out something which is totally wrong as the righteous activity. They may kill somebody and they say, I killed for a righteous cause. I will kill animals and make money. Why? Because I have to live and feed my family. So this is the right profession for me. It is an Asuric thought. It is an Asuric tendency. Why? My father also did this. So I am used to doing this. Asuric thought. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha na vidu. Not knowing what is. Any person with a Daivi tendency will instantly tell, because of compassion, that's wrong. What you're doing is wrong. For example, take a little kid. He is born with Daivi core. All souls are born with it. That's why say बच्चे भगवान के समान होते हैं. You tell the child, you try to hurt an animal in front of the child, immediately the child will come and stop. Unless you put it into the head of the child, they will come and stop. But after some time, they become inane to it, immune to what's happening in the world. Some of them may never become immune. They may tend to become vegetarians, even against the entire family at a very young age. So that is extreme pure Daivi quality. So see, they will not know what is pravritti and nivritti. Just because your father told you, you're not going to follow it. But an Asuri will do it. So see how detail mein Bhagwan jate hain. Janana vidu asura. Na shaucham. So there's no mental purity or physical purity. Na api cha acharaha. They don't know how to conduct themselves in front of whatever wise people, spiritual people. Like for example, many people, if you remember, they will talk. Even in newspapers, they'll talk. Okay, this Baba is like this. This is Dhongi Baba. See, this is where exactly a Daivi quality will be quiet. He will not say a single word, or mentally, or he'll walk away from that place. Why? Because these kind of things should not even be discussed. We have no right to discuss and comment about a yogi. So, api cha achara na satyam teshu vidyate. Neither do they have any truth. The rest are very simple like this only, but it is very deep. Lord dissects Asuri qualities very deeply. Asatyam apratishtam te jagadahuranishwaram aparaspara sambhotam kimanyat kama haitukam. Now this is very interesting. This borders on modern science. Modern scientists who don't believe in God. So Lord, here what does Lord say? Asatyam. So they don't know what is truth, right? Because they don't practice it. So they'll never understand what is truth. If you practice, you'll understand. Asatyam apratishtam. So they say this entire universe has no basis. There is no God. It all came from the Big Bang. It all happened, boom, out of some chance and some probability. And they'll continuously study these theories, trying to prove that the universe doesn't have a God or there's no intelligent creation. Apratishtam, te Jagad Ahu Anishwaram. There's no Ishwara. They speak Ahu. There is no Ishwara. I am not existing. I'm not your father, mother. I didn't create. There is no soul. There is no reincarnation. Aparaspara sambhotam. How everything got created? Because there was an intercourse between two different genders. So they see that in nature. This is happening. A fish and a dog and a dog and a cat and a male and a female. So everything is happening like that. So that is how proliferation of species happens, he says. Kim anyat, what other is there? Kama haitukam. It is through this proliferation only every species has come about. There is something called as evolution. There is no intelligence in creation. You can do whatever you want with earth. You can go 200 feet deep into earth and bring gold and silver out and make ornaments out of it. In ancient times, there was an injunction that you cannot go into earth. Whatever is naturally available, ores on the top of the earth or on mountains, that is given for men, humans to consume. We cannot bore a hole on a living being. So when you bore a hole and make a mine which is 100 feet or 300 meters deep, then that is a very dangerous thing. You're inviting earthquakes, you're spoiling the crust, and you're inviting natural calamities. But that's exactly what we do now. And then Lord says, so that is wrong. Etam drishtimavashthabhya nashtatmano alpabuddhaya prabhavatyugra karmanaha shayaya jagato hitaha. See, this is very, very important. It also shows about modern civilization a lot. He says, Etam drishtim avashtabhya, holding all these stupid thoughts. There's no God, everything is science. Avashtabhya, holding all this. Nashta atmanaha. Their souls cannot redeem very fast because you have got a very wrong notion about creation. Nashta atmana alpa buddhaya. Their intellect cannot expand beyond their thought process. They're like, they're pre-existing molds. Science is the greatest. I am the greatest theoretical physicist. So now beyond me, what? Mathematically, it can explain the world. Okay. But can you manage life and death? No, you can't. So then they again, all of them also suck up. So Alpa Buddhaya. So they think that whatever little knowledge they have is the highest. Prabhavanti Ugra Karmana. So they, because of this, because of a lack of sentience towards everything, believing there's no God, no intelligence, they will say any wrong action is right. Pravrittimcha nivrittimcha. Also ugra karma, even cruel actions, like take a rat and put injection into it and give it cancer. And then kill that rat. Out of 200 rats, 100 died. Another 100, you will use some kind of different kind of chemicals and dyes and try to get a so-called cure. And then you'll cut open a bear, remove its bile juice and say, Ugra Karmana. And then you remove the crocodile skin and the fox's fur. And then you will cut off the beak of the millions of hens and chickens. It's absolute madness. And then you will put a knob into the cow's belly, hang it upwards, and then skin it by pouring 100 degrees of. This is how it happens, abattoirs. The cow skin, to remove it. When the cow is alive, they pour 100 degrees of water on it. This happens every day in UK, US, millions of animals. Imagine the vibrations there. I'm still shocked that US and UK and all are not underwater. God is very kind and compassionate. The amount of arthanada, it is called, the pain of the dying animal. Like when Swami Rama had gone to America, somebody gave him a massive land piece, about 100 acres, very far, somewhere away from Pennsylvania. They went very happily to that place. I remember the story in that book which I read. So he says, Swamiji walks into that place and immediately comes out and he says, he puts one step into the gate, he comes out and he says, gets in the car, no, our ashram will never come here. He drives away. So, and I think Justin, he's one of his favorite disciples. He says, but why, Swamiji? It's such a throwaway prize. It's such a beautiful mountain. He says, no, I can still hear the cries of the animals that were butchered here 400 years back. So that atmosphere he says, to cleanse that atmosphere, I will have to conduct 1,000 yajnas, Vedic yajnas, to cleanse the atmosphere. Yeah. So it can never hold anything spiritual. Nothing good can come out from here. Nothing spiritual can. So that is what we're doing to animals. 9 billion animals are killed in one day. One day. Yes, one day. Check up the statistics across the world to feed the burgeoning human population. Why won't there be bombs? Why won't there be earthquakes? And then we pray. We'll meditate. Oh Lord, help the humans. Ugra Karmana. Now you know what's happening. What is Ugra Karma? Now you know an Asuric civilization. You can identify an Asuric civilization. Ugra Karma. Kshayaya Jagato Hita. They are the destroyers of this world. Hita. They are enemies. Ahitas. They are the enemies of this world. They are not from this world. They're evil for this world. This kinds of civilizations. If everyone follows the injunctions of Bhagwat Gita, there will be no bloodshed. So next chapter, he will also say be vegetarian in 17th chapter. And Lord says, काममाश्रित्य दुष्पूरं दम्भमानमदान्विता मोहात् गृहीतः सद्ग्राहन् pravartante ashuchivrataha. These are more simpler. This is kamamashritya, excessive lust. And also excessive desires. I need Louis Vuitton handbags, 2,000 of them. We need chappals. It's a very common thing. Just because we are spiritual, we have 2 sets of clothes doesn't mean that out there 90% of the world, which is around 6 billion, want that. Okay. Kamamashritya, dushpuram, insatiable, dambamanamadhanvita, hypocritical life. I do Botox. I will cleanse my skin. I will go do that. I will do this. Mana, constant arrogance. I will wear gold and that. It's obviously what is happening in the world. Mada anvita. These are all wrong external showing things. Mohat grihitva. They are caught so strongly in delusion. Asat grahan. So everything impermanent, they hold on to. This body, this skin, my lips, my eyes, my eyebrows, my that, my this. I want to put injections. This is happening across the world. I'm going to spend 40,000, 50,000 rupees on doing up everything. I'm getting old, so I don't want to. Pravartan Shuchivrata. These are all impure things to do. Holding on to things of excessive desire. This is the world which is very external. Asuric. Then Lord says, Chintamaparimeam cha pralayantam upashritaha kamopabhoga parama etavaditi nishchitaha. Because of doing like this, being very external, they're never peaceful, even if they're rolling in cash. Chintam aparimeyam. Endless amount of anxiety. Cha pralayantam, till the end, till their death, upashrita. So, till that anxiety of theirs will end only in death. Chintam aparimeyam, endless anxiety, ending only in death. Pralayantam upashrita. Kama upabhoga paramaha. Till then, I have to fulfill my kama upabhogas. My desires I have to fulfill constantly till I die. My food, my clothing, that is still okay. Higher things like this, no? Paramaha etat vaditi. Etatvat itishchitaha. So definitely this is my highest purpose. I have to accumulate that. I have to accumulate my desire fulfillment and all that. Okay. Asha pasha shatairbhatta kamakrodha parayanaha ihante kama bhogartam anyayenartha sanchayan. Yeah, sanchayan. Asha Pasha Shatair Bhadda. Bhadda is to be bound. Asha Pasha say bound. They bind themselves. Shatai, hundreds and thousands of desires. Kama Krodha Parayana. Because excessive kama, excessive desire fulfillment, it doesn't get fulfilled in one life. So there's excessive anger, throwing things that this Parayana filled with. Ihante Kama Bhoga Artam. They struggle till the end to fulfill their kamas. Kamas are desires. You've seen even at the age of 85, they'll get married the 7th time or 10th time, God knows what. Kama Bhoga Artham, to fulfill this. Anyayena Artha Sanchayan. The other thing they want is Artha. Artha is money. Sanchayan is accumulating. So only 2 things Asuric people will do. They'll accumulate money and fulfill desires. Accumulate money, fulfill. This gives them intense anxiety. Till death, they're never peaceful. They'll never look within and never look at me. So what happens? And they don't believe God exists. Everything is only sexual gratification or external gratification. I'll do anything with the world. Ugra karmas I'll do. I'll destroy the earth. I'll bomb my friend. I'll bomb my enemy. I'll use hypocritical politics. But I want to live. So civilizations are built on this. Idamatya maya laptam imam prapse manoratam idamasti idamapi me bhavishyati punardhanam asomaya hatah shatrum hanishye chaparanapi ishvaro aham bhogi siddho aham bhalavan sukhi adhyo abhijanavanasmi konyosti sadrisho maya yakshe dasyami modishe ityajnana vimohitaha. So this is because they have only desires, fulfillment, and accumulation of wealth. Idam adya maya labdam. Today, idam, this adya, today, maya, by me, I got. This is what I earned today. This much money I've got. Imam prapse manoratham. So I have fulfilled this manoratha, this desire. Idam asti, idamapi me bhavishyati punah dhanam. This is, and this also shall be mine in bhavishya. Again, I want more wealth. This is right running behind salary, money belong to me. This money, like that. Then aso maya hata shatruhu. That shatru today has been killed by me. Hata shatruhu. I have destroyed that person. I'm so happy. Hanishye cha aparan api. Tomorrow, if somebody troubles me, I'm going to trouble that person terribly. Hanishye api. Aparan. Ishvara aham. I am God. Aham bhogi. I want to enjoy. Siddha aham. I am perfect. My knowledge. I'm so highly educated. I'm perfect. Bhalavan sukhihi. I'm also strong physically and I'm very happy. I'm so happy. Sukhi. Adhyan. Adhya abhijanvan. So I am very wealthy and my friends, my family are so well educated. They're all wealthy. Hmm? Asmi. Me also. Kaha anya asti sadrishaha maya. Who else is like me, sadrisha, similar to me, maya, to me? So, kaha anya asti sadrisha maya. Who is similar to me or who is like me? So well placed, so intelligent, so powerful. So, my all my relatives, I'm so proud of everything like that. Yakshe dasyami modishye. So I will do different kinds of pujas also, like yaksha, yajna karna, dasyami. I will give charity, modisha. I will also enjoy in doing this. Iti ajnana vimohita. So they do only for dambartam apichayvayat. They do yajna and puja, havan home in very, pompous manner, huge, things like that. So this is all to show off to my relatives, to show off to my friends. I'm so great. So nicely, Lord is talking about we can identify in the world how civilizations and villages, cities are. You can also see families and people are there. And the Lord says, Aneka chitta vibranta mohajala samavritaha prasakta kama bhogeshu patanti narakesh ashuchau. Aneka chitta vibranta. Mind is always imagining new things of making money, enjoying. Let us do this, let us do that. Moha jala samavrita. They're filled in their own jala, mesh of their own net of desires fulfillment. Samavritaha. We'll travel here, we'll have fun, we'll go to that hotel, enjoy. We're going to have this kind of whiskey today. Prasakta kama bhogeshu, interested only in fulfilling desires. Patanti narake ashuchau. They live in hell literally. They don't know it is hell. They think it's pleasure. Ashuchau, impure. Their mind becomes very impure. आत्मसम्भावितास्तब्धा धनमानवदान्विताः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते दम्भेन अविधिपूर्वकम्. So you typically Bollywood industry and all you can see like this. So many being when they have their parties and they have their things, their Hollywood, Bollywood, they're extremely like that. We should never hence plan to become like that. I'm not saying making movies, watching movies is wrong. You can always, the money that you get can be used for better things. Atma sambhavitaha. They're always thinking of oneself. Stabdaha, very stubborn because they think they're very beautiful, intelligent. They are the heroes and heroines. Dhana mana mada anvita. Dhana is wealth and mana is excessive pride. Mada is arrogance, anvita, full of that. Yajante nama yajnaiste. They also do pujas and havan and homas, but it's all for naam, dikhava ke liye. Bade weddings and everything. Dhambena avidhi purvakam. Ostentatiously they do it to show off to others, and because the mind is not there, it is an avidhi. It is not the right way of doing it. because the meaning of the yajna is to have the mind on God. So when you do it to show off, it is an avidhi. Then Lord says, Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodam cha samshrita mamatma paradeheshu pradvishyanto abhyasuyaka. So this abhyasuyaka is again a person, Lord talks again and again, making fun of God. Ahankaram balam darpam, which we understand, egotism, strength, darpam, arrogance, kamam krodam, samshita, filled with kama and krodha. Mamatma paradeheshu. So inside their own body as well as in other body, they don't believe God exists. Pradvishantyo, so they'll abuse God. Huh? Abhyasuyaka. Abhyasuyaka. So they are very, very demonic and making belittling people. Belittling everyone else, belittling God. So they themselves have God, they belittle, they're actually belittling them. That's what Lord saying. तानहं द्विषतः क्रूरान् संसारेषु नराधमान् क्षिपाम्यजस्रमशुभान् आसुरिषु योनिषु. So आसुरिं योनिमापन्ना मूढा जन्मनि जन्मनि मामप्राप्येव कौन्तेय ततो यान्त्यधमां गतिम्. So Lord says, Tan aham the kruran sansareshu nara adhaman. And so Lord is saying, what I will do with these people. They're destroying people, destroying world, destroying animals. I'm going to destroy them. So Lord's also going to destroy. He says, these tan aham I, dvishata, these people who hate everything and everyone, kruran, cruel beings, sansareshu, for this sansara, naradhaman, they're very evil people for this sansara. Kshipam, I throw them. Where do I throw them? Ajasram, again and again, into Ashubhan, Asurishu, Eva Yonishu. Ashubhan. They, because of their natural magnetism also, they will go lower and lower. Patala, Tala, Vitala, Tala, Tala, Rasadala, all those words, talas are there, which is very dark, those kinds of worlds, they will end up there. In fact, he says, I am throwing them in auspicious space. Asirisha, Yonisha. Also, they'll be born in such wombs only, attracted to such mothers, such wombs. Asurim Yonim of an Asuri, Modha Janmani Janmani. So life after life, they tend to do the same things, bad things. Mam aprapya. By doing this again and again, they will not get me. They will not get the thoughts of God. Eva kaunteya tata yanti adhamam gatim. They become extremely hateful creatures. That is what our Rakshasas. That is what our Asuras. Their face also changes. The body changes. The teeth structure changes. Everything changes. And they start looking like Asuras. That's why how important all these things are. So these are all truths, right? So the universe contains such beings. Then Lord says, Trividam narakasyedam dwaram nashanam kama krodastata lobha tasmade tatrayam tyajet. We have three more, we'll finish it off. Trividam narakasya idam dwaram. To enter into hell, these are the three ways, three gates. Dwaram nashanam atmanah kama krodha tata lobha. Nashanah atmanah. Soul gets destroyed. Soul gets so eclipsed. Through what? Kama, krodha, tata, lobha. Tasmat etat. Hence these three. Trayam. Trayam, three. Tyajet. Give this up. So it starts with a basic excessive desire. Kama, krodha, and lobha it starts. Then Lord says, Etair vimukta kaunteya तमोत्वारैत्रिभिर्नरः आचारत्यात्मनः श्रेयो ततो याति param gatim. And then the other two also will do. Yashastra vidhimutsrujya vartate kamakaratah na sa siddhim avapnoti na sukham na param gatim tasmat shastram pramanam te कार्या व्यवस्थितौ ज्ञात्वा शास्त्रविधानोक्तं Karma kartumi harhasi. Lord says, Etair vimukta. From this, get free. From what? Kama, Krodha, and Lobha. O Kaunteya. See, these three, Tamadwaraha, these are the entry gates to Tamas. Tibir Naraha. These three are the entry gates to Naraka, from to the other worlds, lower worlds. For a Naraha, for a person. Acharati Atmana Shreyaha. So you should always conduct yourself, acharati atmanaya, for your soul, shreya, welfare, for your soul's welfare, tato yati param gatim. So always work in the positive direction. So thereby you go in, take your soul into higher and supreme goals. Do such works and such acharas, conducts. Okay, don't do such things which are excessive kama krodha lobha begins there, and it goes into all those highest states of excessive achara. Then he says, how do you follow what is right, what is wrong? There are certain injunctions given, spiritual injunctions given. Yashastram vidhi utsrujam. These, you don't give up all shastras suddenly saying, oh, I am a yogi now, nothing applies to me. No, follow these scriptural injunctions. Utsrajya vartate kama karate. If you give it up and do only what I want to do, I love this, so I'll do this. So this is today's motto also. I don't want to do this because I don't like it. So vartate kama karataha nasa siddhim avapnoti. You will not get your siddhi avapnoti. Like for example, I give you an example. Typically, divorce you look at. People don't like each other, so I'll just throw that person and leave from my life. I can throw that person. Rich people, especially, they will do that. Women, men, equal. So women also, they won't tolerate a little bit of this. We're not saying excessive, not like somebody killing you or stabbing you, but we're talking about basic things like what? You can't share water, you can't share a cup. Like in America, there was a research which said the maximum number of divorces happen for insignificant things. Like you couldn't share a nail cutter, that she snores in the night, or he farts, or things like that. The judge can't bear it because the judges are typically older, So you work together to try to help. I read this research, which makes absolutely stupid sense. So why Nata Siddhim Avapnoti Bhagwan says, see, that person is in your life so that you and he had some pact, or she and you had some pact in that higher world, so that with all the flaws that you have and he has some flaws, all of us have flaws, so then you understand each other and you try to live. So while you're living like this, you will try to change each other by rubbing off the good qualities on each other. So when this is happening, a little bit of struggle is important in life. Otherwise, you will never learn. That's what Nasa siddhim avapnoti. The moment you do dislike something, it's not my kama karata, it's not giving me happiness or joy, I'm going to discard it. Come back right there in your next life. Continue from there. Don't discard it. Nasa siddhim avapnoti. Not get into higher levels. Na sukham na paramgatim. Definitely parangati will not happen because you have had a fight with that soul. And then sukha is not going to come. Sukha. Okay. Then Lord says, Tasmat, therefore, Shastram Pramanamte. What Shastra has been given, take that as your basis. Now, again, the definition of Shastra, don't go into that tangent at all. It has been so corrupted. So many editions. There's some 15 or 14, I believe, types of Manusmritis. Welcome to that, because there's been a lot of editions and all. Tasmat Shastram Pramanamte. Therefore, take the Shastra as Praman. Karya Akarya Vyavastita. Decide what is karya, right work, what is akarya, not work, good work. Ask your soul, basically. Your soul is purified. Or one more way of Shastra is, I'll come to that. They say that Aptavakya. Aptavakya is you go to a Siddha Purusha, like a Paramahamsa Yogananda. There's so many, just like a Jesus Christ. Okay. Or like a Babaji, Lahiri Maharshi Swami, or Shirdi Sai Baba. There's so many are there, right? Or Shri Ravi Shankar. So many living is also. So, Mata Amritananda. You go to them and ask them, what is right? Lord, what is right? You will get an answer. They are alive. Somehow you will get an answer. They speak, right? So they are the Shastras when there is a confusion in the Shastra. So they become the Shastra. So that's called Shabda. Shabda means Om. Om flows through them. So what they speak is also Shabda only. Shabda. Shabda means Om. Apta Vakya, or it is called the Vakya which comes with love, universal love. Jnatva Shastram Vidanoktam Karma Kartum Iharhasi. So knowing this, Jnatva Shastram Vidanoktam, knowing the correct, whatever has been ukta, spoken of in the Shastra. Karma Kartum, do works, Iha Arhasi. You should be doing such works in this world. Iha is in this world. So this is how you have to live, Arjuna. So you speak to your Guru, your Siddha Purusha, your Guru. It has been written in your milk and life work. If you're going through confusion in life, you have to take the right decision. Ashwas, whether it's the right thing to do or wrong thing to do. So then you take the right decision. So with this, we will close the Shodasho Adhyaya. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yogo Nama Shodashodhyayaha. With this, we'll close. I finished the 16th chapter very successfully. Very simple chapter. This is very simple chapter. Let's take a moment of silence. And we'll close for whoever wants to leave. Then we'll do the chanting of this. Gauriji will do the chanting for us. Then, if there are any questions, we'll talk about that. Then we'll close for the week. Om Guru Narayane Samarpayam. Jai Guru. Gauriji, can I request,
The chant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jai Guru. Om Guru Narayanayeति अभयं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिः ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थितिः दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तमार्तं धीरचापलम् भवन्ति